my gosh, I should turn that camera off, I guess. Oh my God. Mm. There. Oh, now the phone's ringing. Stand by. Hello? Hi. Oh, what else can go wrong? Oh my gosh. Hope nobody was watching. Oh, there's 4 viewers. Oh my gosh. Okay, obviously I'm setting up. Okay. Hang on, sorry, disaster. Okay, I'm trying to get my laptop set up so I can see my ugly face also. See if I do a refresh. That will work. So I can get, oh, there. Oh my gosh, that's gross. Oh my gosh. Oh, I should have put my, oh, I don't know. What would help? Okay, come on, open up. Okay, there we go. I gotta make sure I turn audio off. Gosh, that's gross. There we go. Okay. Whew, man, what a mess. Okay, what's it, 9 o'clock? No, it's not. At least it's not 9 o'clock yet. Okay, so all this is setting up time. Let me see if I can get the chat entry to work. Oh, hello, everyone. Is the video that bad? Oh my gosh, if the video is that bad, it's not going to work. Video on my end is terrible. Now, what I think I did is I've got my i6 computer running the Hangout. I've got my little tiny laptop monitoring it, and that could be the problem. It could be that it's slow. And oh, I got a light flickering. Oh boy, let me turn that light off. There. Ooh, now I get the sun coming right in my eyes in the window. Let me see if I can fix that. Oh, don't know if I can or not, or make it worse. There, that's better. Oh my gosh. What a mess. Let's see who else we got in the chat. At least the chat room is working. We got Radio Wave Studio, and we got 741, and we got Hula Kula. The video is very grainy. Yeah, why is the video grainy? I don't know. I do not have, oh boy, I don't think I have control of the camera in this setup, but I really wasn't going to use the camera anyway. So let me go ahead and switch off the camera. And the big question is the screen share going to be good resolution? If that's not good resolution, then we can forget it. Okay, so let me go. I don't want that screen. I want. Oh, now my phone's going off again. Stand by. There. That was my reminder to make sure that I started to show at 9 o'clock. And what the heck is this screen? Good grief. Okay, I got to close this down, obviously. And I'm going to close this down, obviously. Now, when we look at my screen, yeah, grainy. Now my question is, when it flips over, eventually, I'm watching my laptop here, which is, there's like a 30-second delay. Okay, now I'm on, let me get rid of this, hide this thing. I'm on SDR Uno. And the question is that grainy? If that's grainy, show over. Show over. I think I can turn the light back on since I got the camera off. What's that? What you're looking at is SDR Uno, which is a software package for controlling SDRs, specifically the SDR Play series, Play 1, 1A, and 2. And it's fairly complicated. And they just made an update. Well, I say just made, it was probably like January. So I wanted to go over some of the updates with the audience and with the hope that you can help me, some of you can help me. Like I know 741 is familiar with this program because I'm struggling with now with the updates. And I'll be talking about what I'm struggling with in the updates. There's, I'd say about at least a dozen obvious updates and then a bunch of minor updates. Screen looks weird. Oh, goody. What do you mean it looks weird? I mean, when I was on the screen, yeah, you could say the screen looked weird because I was in the camera. But I'm not sure what you mean by the screen looks weird. Is it 8 o'clock? Oh, I mean 9 o'clock? It's 9 o'clock. So we're going to start, whether we're ready or not. Let's see. Audio should be okay. Now, I changed my mind about doing a streaming show using OBS software versus a Hangout. And the reason I did that is, for some reason, when I do a streaming, I can't find the video or the show that was streamed for like 4 or 5 hours. It's, unless I kind of go through a convoluted way, but I can't find it in my list of shows to go edit it. What I mean by edit, I mean change the title and description and stuff like that. So that was kind of disappointing. So I decided to go back this morning to the Hangout on the Air, which shows when I finish the show, it shows up in my list immediately. And I can go make comments or whatever to it. So I'm doing Hangout on the Air. That takes away some of the controls. Like I can't control the camera right now, the way I'm doing it. I can't control. There's probably other ways of doing it. So that's what we're doing. We're doing a Hangout. Let me look at the chat room. I think he was talking about the mirror effect. Oh yeah, yeah. That's one thing when you're switching in a Hangout on the Air on YouTube. When you're switching from your camera to screen share, since you're in the Hangout control software, you get that mirror effect initially, and then what you do is you shut that down. And then it goes away. Hopefully that cures that. Audio is good. Thank you for that input because that's always a concern. Matter of fact, the testing I did the other day, I forgot to turn the mic on. And I babbled for over a half an hour with no mic input. Anyway, let's go on. Thanks everybody for stopping by. This is Tom. And this is Tom's Radio Room Show, Hanging on the Air. I'm going to try my best to do these every Saturday morning. I say try. As you can see, I already struggled this morning. We're moving on. So SDR Uno is a software package for controlling SDR, software-defined radios, which are little dongles or little small cube packages where most of the radio functions are run on your computer with a software. And this is one of the software packages. This software package is made mainly for the SDR Play SDRs. It can be used on SDRs. And I started out using it on my RTL-SDR.com dongle. And it's fairly complicated, but they have on their channel, they have a lot of good videos to get you started. Unfortunately, sometimes the videos, they leave things out. Very important things, and I'll be talking about that in a few minutes. So let me click in the chat room here, and I should have brought myself, I already drank my tea this morning, so I'm out of tea. Okay, so I think everything's working. I think you can see the SDR Play screen, and I think you can hear me. I don't know if you're going to be able to hear the audio from SDR Uno. I said SDR Play before, SDR Uno. Let me just start it and play. And we're on the 31 meter band. And there's a signal right there. The shortwave bands right now are kind of not so good. Well, to be frank, they're bad. But they'll improve, and any time they can improve. Let me see if I'm really hearing anything. Let me turn the mute off. Oh, nope, not hearing anything there. The other problem is I don't have my best antenna that I have coming into my workshop. I don't have it hooked up. I'm sharing the cable for it between the J pole, which is for 2 meters, and the 31 foot HF vertical antenna. And right now it's hooked to the J pole. So it's not good. The J pole is not going to do too good on HF bands. Anyway, that's not totally important. Okay, so this is the latest version. It came out in January of SDR Uno. It's version 1.22, and it has some kind of unique, nice enhancements. So I'm going to try to go through a few of them, but I need help because I'm struggling with some of them. Yes, it has DRM mode. I don't think it has DRM mode. Maybe 741 knows it because I'm just not into DRM, so I don't look for it. It does have, and I forgot the name of it. It does have the mode where, let's go to FM band. Um, 105.0. Ooh, a little bit noisier there. FM wide band, 192K. What am I doing wrong? FM. I should be able to receive FM. I mean, the FM is like, just down the street. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. What's my bandwidth? My bandwidth is only 2 megahertz. Okay. But I'm not seeing much here. I wonder if let me restart it. Okay, we're stand by. Don't know what I'm doing wrong here. That's the one thing I have noticed about SDR Uno is that you can hit the wrong button and now things don't work anymore. So we're going to play, and we're in FM mode. Let's go back to um, 100, 90, well, 89. Let's try 89, thereabouts. There's a big signal right there. Now I can't change frequency. Oh my gosh. What have I done here? Oh, I see. It's got the choose with wideband. Boy, I'm feeling like a dummy here. Now all of a sudden it's working. $300. How did I get to 300? Hello. Okay, there's a signal there. Whoa. I am wondering, look at it back, what? Why did it go back to 300 again? Why is his bandwidth so huge? Boy, I'm lost. I don't know if it's because we turn that way mute. I don't know what's happening is no, I'm not using too much CPU. I thought I may be using up all my CPU, and therefore, when that happens, SDR Play or SDR Uno has problem. I wasn't doing that. And then I could see that I'm only using very little, maybe not much CPU power. That's way in the mud. That should be mud. It's like it's not really doing its thing. Oh, you think I'm in the kilohertz band? Phew, okay, let's okay, that's part of the problem. You are correct. Now let's, whoops, okay. When I put that number in before, it was probably not enough decimal places. There we go. There we go. Okay, here's a signal here. And let's go down to 89 something. I'm using the lower part of the FM band because down there are some stations that are just talk, no music. And let's, there's the mode I want. Why the bandwidth is so narrow, I don't know. There's a good signal over there. There we go. Now we're getting somewhere. Too many options. Let's turn his volume down. And I don't understand why I can't get a bigger bandwidth than 10K or 20K. Okay, let's go on. You can see I'm struggling here. I've not had these kinds of problems with the old version, whether it's the new version or, I mean, I got some good signals now, but I don't understand why it doesn't even show the bandwidth. That's weird. Let me look in the chat room and see if I get some help from somebody. Oh, my one main person I thought was going to help me, 741, has to leave. Okay, click the, I did that. I clicked the SW, whatever, I'm on that now, and I only see 20K preset filter. I don't see anything bigger than that, which is really strange. I don't understand that. Again, I'm wondering is, no, the CPU usage is real low. It's 25% total. It's real low. All right, we're going to go on. And what I'm going to talk about is a problem. One of the new options is you're able to set the step size for each of these modes. And I saw a video that from the gentleman that does the videos on this software, and he quickly did it. And what he did, he was mousing over one of these modes, and then somehow he got a pull down menu so that he could change the step size, which is right up here. I can't figure out how to do that. 740, I'm in AM mode. Oh, shoot, you're right. Gosh, I'm totally blown away here. Let me see what's, bingo. See, I need your help, 741. I accidentally changed it. Okay, so as you can hear, it's working. So let me turn it off because that is music. So anyway, 741, do you know how to get this pull down menu up here when you're in the mode area to change the step size? Just, you hit some button or something, this pull down menu comes, it gives you a list of step sizes, and you just select one. It's that easy. I cannot get it to work. I don't know, no matter what button I push or stand on my head or what, I can't get that pull down menu. So we'll move on. Supposedly that's there. We'll move on. All right. So anyway, that's one of the new features is custom set step size for each mode. Instead of they had ones that they chose, and that's what you had to use. Now you can change it. All right. The next thing was they've added additional functions to these buttons right here, these band buttons. And what you do is you come up here and click on bands, and then you can have ham, upper and lower, or broadcast bands in all these buttons. So like I had chose before, I had chose broadcast. Let me get off this. And so now these are the broadcast bands. Like for instance, 31, which is my favorite broadcast band on shortwave. And so now when you select those buttons, it will set up all the options for listening to the broadcast bands, and it sets the mode and bandwidth and all that stuff, as opposed to the ham bands, which I will change right now. So I'll go up here to bands, and I picked ham upper bands. So now it shows the ham bands, the upper portion of the ham bands, starting at 2 meters and 10 meters, 6 meters, 4 meters, 2 meters, and so on. So you can also select ham lower. So then it's got all the lower ham bands. And I didn't realize it went all the way down to 2.2 kilohertz. But you got 80 meters, 60 meters, 4 meters. So now this is not only just the ham bands, which it was before, it's ham bands, upper and lower, the two sections of the ham bands, and the broadcast bands. So that's a really nice feature there. All right. Right click on the frequency readout. Right click. Oh, so obvious. I mean, I right clicked, left clicked, center clicked, everything I could think of. And what happened was, I can see now, is I right clicked the frequency and then it put me into the frequency selection mode, and then I couldn't do the left click anymore. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. That's what this show's about, helping each other, and you guys are really helping me out. So that's it. So that's how you can go in and say, we go to the AM mode and we right click on this and hold it. You have to hold it, and then we can select what the tuning steps are. So if you want to, like right now, it's set to 10 hertz. That's a little tight. And so I'd probably want to set it to like maybe 250 hertz or maybe even 1 kilohertz. So we'll set it to 1 kilohertz. So now you can see maybe up here, it's going to step when I rotate the button. It's going to step at 1 kilohertz. So you can see that change 1 kilohertz. See there? So let's go back to FM mode. So we're in the right mode. Okay, great. We got through that one. Thanks to 741 and NL 13851. Thank you very much. Okay, next. And there's a bunch of them that are minor that I'm not going to talk about because I've already wasted 22 minutes babbling. Scheduling recording. Now there's a new, this is the recording feature, which you before you just said, you pushed the button, record. That was it. And then now they've added this little button up here, and I'm going to click on it. And now you can schedule a recording. You can schedule a start time by day and time. You can schedule the end time. So, for instance, if I wanted to monitor the 10-meter band in the afternoon, then I could start at, say, 1400 UTC to 1600 UTC. And it would do their recording and start the recording, start the play, and save that file. Now, unlike, let me close this, unlike HD SDR, which give you different types of recording, such as everything coming from your radio, which makes a huge file, which this is doing the same thing, which means it's going to make a huge file, to just the audio, which makes a much smaller file. Hopefully they'll add that option. Don't think that selection is available yet. All right, let me check the chat room. Okay. Yes, James, that's what I was doing before. I'll do it right now. It's changing the frequency. You take your cursor and put it over the number or the digit that you want to change. Like this is a little bit off, so I want to get that 1 down, and I use mouse wheel, and it goes to 0. Or if I want to make a big jump, I can go over here to the 2, use the mouse wheel, and it jumps down pretty rapidly. I could go down to 89 point, I think it's 89.7. Yeah, there's 89.7, which is mostly talk. Let me see. Let me look for a second and see if it is.
Years went by. Linda
Yeah.
got married. She had children. She retired. Dayton was bought by Macy's and closed.
I think that's WUSF, which is university across the Tampa Bay for me, and they're mostly talk radio, which is good as far as doing demonstrations. I was going to say something. Oh, where is it? Oh, here's, I think this is the right one. Yeah, here is the RDS decoder, which now is up here in this corner. You can move this. Any of these modules, this is one, 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 and now this one now. Oh, and this is one. This is a new one. Any of these modules can be moved down and to some degree resize. And so I got the RDS module open and running, and it shows that this is WUSF at 89.7. All right, so we close that. I thought of something a second ago and I forgot already. Oh, also, I believe it was in the previous version, but it didn't work for me. And maybe because, I don't know why, it wasn't working for me. But in the new version, when you run it the first time, it detects your screen resolution and populates these modules onto your desktop. And so this is the default for my screen resolution. It puts all these modules neatly in place so you don't have to do it. Before, you had to open each one of these modules, resize them, and then do a save. If you make any changes now, like if you want to move, I'll just do it manually here. If you want to move this down here, in order for it to save that configuration, you have to go over here and click on this default work page and then do a save. That way, the next time you open a program, like I'll try a test here. So I've moved this, and if I close this program, okay, I close the program. Now if I open again, it should go back to my previous saved setup. It should. Come on, please, do it, do it, do it. There you go. So it saves that setup. So Dave added, and I thought it was in the previous version, but I couldn't get it to work, but it's working in this version. Maybe it's because I did a full update. All right, let me check that room here. Okay, 741, I thank you for hanging in there. I don't want your wife to yell at you. I know how that goes. So have a great day. James, you just woke up? What's with that? You mean you missed the beginning of my show? Well, you can watch it later. Craig is there. Hey, good morning, Craig. Danny is there. Danny in New York is here. Thank you for coming by. Okay, so we're discussing the latest version, which is 1.2 of SDR Uno. Again, this is mainly written for the SDR Play SDRs, but they have options so you can use it on other SDRs. Initially, about a year ago, when somebody told me about this program, I didn't have an SDR Play, so I got it working with his help on my RTL-SDR.com SDR. So it will work on other programs. It's one of those programs where it's fairly complicated because it has so many options, but once you learn how to use it, it is pretty cool, pretty cool. Okay, now we're talking about the latest version, that came out in January. What else is new? So we talked about the scheduler option here. So you can schedule recordings and auto updates. You now can enable auto update checks. And so when you run the program, if you haven't run it for a while, it'll do that check for updates, and it will give you the option to accept the update and do the update. You don't have to. Or you can do it manually, check for updates manually. So that's it. The auto check is new. Okay. How many times have I said okay? I'm sorry. I get in that habit and I can't stop. And like I said, I'm only going to touch on some of the major changes, not all, because there's 15 or 20 changes. Okay, this one I kind of like is I've struggled with determining if I'm in play mode, which is this button right here. And what they've done, and we just switch it, when you're in play mode, then the button becomes the stop button and it's red or has a red background. When you're stopped, so I'm going to stop now, then the button is to make it play and it's green. So that's a little minor thing, but I know a lot of people like myself struggled with that. You look at that button before and there was no color difference, and it was like, is it working or did I just not enable it? Okay, so let me enable it again right now. Okay, they moved another little thing. They moved the mute button so that the volume button has more room. Before the mute button was next to it, so you didn't have as big a scale on the volume button. I like that. I wish the mute button
how about some
it's color coded, its background color are white. I wish it was green and red like the stop and start button. Need to be more consistent with their changes. Okay. And they moved the squelch button. Says they moved the value to the right. I don't think it's to the right. Oh, I guess it is to the right because they put the move button here and move this over the squelch level over. Okay, that's good. There goes that okay again. I'm sorry. Let me check the chat room. All righty. Yeah, Danny, I agree with you. That's the way I was. I got used to using SDR console because it has so many features. And, I use 4 programs. And because they have different main features that I like. SDR console, what I like about SDR console is those favorite buttons that you can save when you're tuning a frequency and you find something you can like, you can just make it a favorite. I like that. Memory here, down here on SDR Uno has a similar function, but I just not gotten used to it. And then HDR, SDR, I like their multiple ways you can record, either RF, IF, or audio. So I like that feature. So I'm switching back and forth all the time. And it's taken me a while and some help from some of my users to learn how to use SDR Uno. So that's where that is. Then there's a bunch of fixes they made. I won't go over any of those. I think that's about it. Oh, yeah, I can say there are some minor other changes that I just don't Nope, don't remember, haven't tried. So let me look at chat room. Yeah, James, I struggled last year when I was first told about SDR Uno because I didn't have an SDR Play SDR, and I could not get the drivers to be recognized that were needed for the dongle that I was trying to use, which was the RTL-SDR.com. I couldn't get the drivers to work with SDR Uno. The drivers worked with other programs, but I couldn't get it. And then finally, one of my subscribers contacted me and says, you need to do this and this, and it'll work. Since then, and let me see if I can go there. Here we go. Hold on. Okay, that's not where I want to go. I want to go to SDR, whoops, wrong keyboard, SDR Uno. Right here. Is it showing up? Yeah, I think it will eventually. Okay, now, this is what they've done. They now have, and they've had for a while, they have the drivers for using other devices, and this is the big good and, if you have an SDR Play 1, 1A, or 2, they now have the drivers for these other programs, including SDR Console. Actually, it says, oh, it's got two versions, the version 2.3 and a version 3. And they even have down here, they have the drivers for ADS-B, the aircraft tracking program, so that you can use your RS Play devices with those other programs. And then here's an SDR Sharp plugin, but it's only for the SDR Play 1. So they've added some more things. They've added some more user guides. And they have a, the SDR Uno manual is being updated for version 1.22. So it's a little behind. So that's where that's at. So this is the SDRplay.com website where you can get SDR Uno and some other stuff. All right. Let me minimize that. I think I've covered all the new options. I'm still learning. It's, you know, you look at this, my display here, and you look at all these options. I'm still learning this. I'm by no means an expert. The one thing about SDR Uno is that it does require a significant amount of CPU power. Not as bad as SDR Console. SDR Console takes a lot. But you can see up here, maybe you can see because it's really small. You can see right now SDR, this program, is using 19–20% of the CPU power. The overall system usage, which means SDR Uno and Hangout on the Air and Chrome, the total of that is about 30%, which I am blown away, because when I was testing using, when I was testing the other day using OBS streaming software, I was hitting 70s, overall 70s, running what I did is I was running SDR Play, I was running OBS screen capture, and I was running Chrome to do the streaming. I found out in that test that I could close Chrome, which helped, but then I was still about 60%. So it looks like this is a better option for doing live shows, because I guess a lot of the software running in the background is up on YouTube. So it's not as a big impact on my local computer. I'm also not running at this moment my camera. So that could be another reason that it's gone down. But this is very reasonable. I mean, overall, if I can believe these numbers, overall, the system use right now is, well, I saw 46%, but it's usually about 30%, which gives me plenty of headroom. Now, one of the things I talked about doing, this was in a previous show, and maybe it was just in one of my test shows, was, let me check the chat room. A link would be nice. I kind of like the, okay, I think you saw where it is now, James. Yeah, the SDR console, Simon, who writes that software, he's updating that like daily. So it's a little hard to have the latest version. But he's adding a buku number of features, and like I say, it has some things that none of the other ones have. All right, I found a website with some quick Googling, but I could not post the URL in this chat. Yeah, I don't think it'll let you post a URL in the chat. Maybe it does, I don't know. Okay, I also something game as well, so much of yeah, James, SDR console, I mean, yes, SDR console will take advantage of higher end graphic cards. And unfortunately, if you don't have a higher end graphics card, which I don't, therefore it taxes or uses more of your CPU. So that's kind of the trade-off. I wonder, Danny, I wonder if I can do that on the fly. I probably can't. And if I tried, I'll probably crash the whole thing. Nope, I don't see any obvious way to do that. But James, you can share a link in the comments in the video after I finish the show. All right, anybody else have any other questions or comments? And I apologize for me being on camera at the beginning. I didn't realize that I was going to do that. That was pretty gross. So I think I'm about out of anything else to talk about. And we can, for a second or two, I can try the HF bands. It's 9:45 a.m. There won't be much on the HF bands right now. Oh, what I was saying is I experimented with using Hangouts and even streaming, but Hangouts on the air to do a long-term record of like SDR Uno. And I would do that for a couple of reasons. And this, I would probably, I don't know if I'd share it or not, or just have it private. But my intent would be to have it record what's going on SDR Uno up on YouTube, and not have to have it save to my hard drive, which is going to fill my hard drive. You follow what I'm saying? For instance, if I wanted to use the scheduling feature and I wanted to record for, say, 4 hours, starting late afternoon and into early evening of the 10-meter band using SDR Uno, so I can see the whole band. If I use the scheduling program in SDR Uno, it's going to fill up my hard drive big time. But I believe, and I did a little bit of testing, I believe if I do a hangout on the air on YouTube, it will do the recording of that video up on its hard drives. Plus, I can share it so other people can watch what's going on. And then I can watch that video later and I can play it back at 2x speed, for instance. I wish they had speed faster than 2x. Now, you can jump ahead on a video on YouTube. But that's one of the things I was thinking about doing, because that's one thing I've been trying to find out how to record for a long time, a particular, not frequency. I want to record a band, like for instance, the 10-meter band in this spectrum mode that we're looking at right now. So I've been looking for ways to do that. So that's just an idea. James says, I'm sure the camera didn't break. Well, I probably came close to it when it was looking at me. Yeah, Danny, I have experimented with doing that, and it seems to work. And like YouTube says, that you can record a video up to 8 hours, which that's plenty. I mean, probably I would only record maybe 2 to 4 hours. But I haven't tried it for a long period of time. I've only tried it for like 15 minutes at a time. So I'm going to experiment with that. And of course, there's two options. There's either doing a streaming or doing a hangout on the air, which this is the hangout on the air. I thought streaming was going to be the way to go because it seemed to use less CPU. But I'm looking at the CPU usage right now in this program right here. That gives you an indication right here. And it says the program is SDR Uno is using less than 20%. The overall system is using, I saw a high of 44, typically down to 30. Now, let me try, and this could be catastrophic. I'm going to see if I can bring up Task Manager. Stand by. Control Alt. Oh, wrong keyboard again. Okay. So now I've got Task Manager running. Hopefully the stream hasn't stopped. Taking a while for it. Okay, there we go. So we move this over here. Now, of course, Task Manager uses up CPU power too. And it says that I'm right now using about 30 to 35%. And the SDR Uno says I'm using about 30 to 35%. So that's a pretty accurate number. And that's a good number. It's a low number. I mean, when I'm under 70%, I think it's a low number. Part of that is the fact that I'm using this, quote, newer computer, which has an i3 processor, not a powerhouse, but better than my other computers. And it's giving me that extra CPU power. So I think I'm good. And memory is 50%. So I'm doing pretty good. Now, the other factor is internet bandwidth. Let me close this down. Is right now I have approximately 15 to 25 devices on my router. Actually, I have a router and I have a switch. And so, and those devices are not running full time. They're just kind of hanging on there, and they'll go do a sample of something like weather data or something like that. So, and my bandwidth provider only gives me, I think, 39 megabits download and 11 upload, so it's not that fantastic. So that's another limiting factor. And so I could get a dropout or a crash when I'm doing that 4-hour record and a whole bunch of devices decided they want the internet. So that's another factor. Let me see. Okay. Thanks, Brett, for the update. That's always a concern that the video will or the audio will get choppy. When I was using the older computer, it was terrible. The video was chopped up big time. The audio was dropping out. It wouldn't work. But this computer is doing a pretty good job. Now, this computer, I did a clean of this computer when it was given to me. And so it has a clean install of Windows 10. So it doesn't have a whole bunch of other programs that was left over from before. Yeah, I agree with you, Danny, about the hardwiring it to use the network cable. And I've been looking in my office to see if I can find room for another computer or take one out that I'm not using as often. So you're absolutely right, Danny. That's one thing. And I am downstairs in my workshop, and the router Wi-Fi is upstairs in my office. So I'm getting, let's see. I'm getting a good signal, though. I've got 4 out of 5 bars on my Wi-Fi, so I got a good signal. What I'd like to do, and I've gotten permission, is to use my neighbor's Wi-Fi, which she doesn't use. She's got a computer and that's it, and she doesn't use her computer much. Use her Wi-Fi, which is 100 megabits down. I don't know what it is up. But I got to build an antenna because she's 100 yards from me. And I can see her router, but it's like 1 bar, so that doesn't work. Okay, I think I have said okay enough times that I'm going to call this a wrap. I appreciate everybody that stopped by and helped me. 741 is already gone, so I can't thank him again, but he helped me out a lot. And so several other people that are in the chat room helped me out. And I think I'm getting close to being able to do a weekly show. That's my intent, to get things functional and repeatable so that I can do a weekly show on Saturday morning. And I think 10 a.m. is a good time. Not the best for everybody, but it's a good time. Okay. Actually, Golan, that's what I'm using. I'm using the clean version of Windows. Thanks to you. All righty. We're going to call it a wrap. And thanks, everybody, for stopping by. We had a kind of a shaky start, but I think we got things done that I wanted to do this morning. See the chat room one more time. Thanks, Danny. Enjoy your shows too. And have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye.